Another Fortune. No, what was it?
Legacy.
Legacy, yes.
Legacy. Cody Rhodes.
Similar.
Where is Cody Rhodes? He was on SmackDown
somewhere.
this week, but he's been on, I think, like, if we look at the last 4 shows they've had, SmackDown this week, Raw, 1000th Raw, and SmackDown last week, he's been on one of them.
Ah.
And I don't think he hasn't been on a Raw since he lost the Intercontinental title, I don't think, to Christian. Was that on a Raw when he did that? No, that was at Night of... No.
I don't remember.
What was before Money in the Bank? What pay-per-view? Over the Limit?
No Way Out?
No Way Out. I think he beat him at No Way Out, didn't he?
Possible.
Christian won the title at No Way Out. And then we haven't really seen much of Rhodes since then. I don't get it. He had a great match with Sheamus this week.
Yeah.
And that's it. I thought he was on the cusp.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe it's just they've got so many guys. They got to kind of rotate their way up there. It's kind of Ziggler's turn now, and then Rhodes will be the next one. Maybe. I don't know. But I think Rhodes is great. I don't understand why he's not on TV. If I was running the show, Rhodes would be on TV every week. The crowd, he has garnered from him, because right now the great thing about Cody Rhodes now is he's not a character, or he's playing a character of himself. Like, he doesn't have a gimmick anymore. When he was dashing, he had a gimmick. When he was undashing, he had a gimmick. But now he's just Cody Rhodes. Right, and the fans have grown to hate Cody Rhodes for Cody Rhodes. You know, he comes out and he smiles and he gets his own heat. You know, he does these little, like, you know, facial expressions and he kind of shouts at the crowd. And he has a relationship with the audience that a lot of other guys don't have. And he has a relationship that means more than, you know, somebody with a gimmick getting heat. Because he's getting heat as Cody Rhodes, as the guy Cody Rhodes, you know, the son of Dusty Rhodes. We see him interact with Goldust. We see him interact with his father. You know, he's humanized, and to draw heel heat from that perspective, I think is so much more successful than, you know, to come out with an American flag wrapped around your butt and just be like, I hate America, you know? I think it's such a better example of success in wrestling.
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes is one of the few guys I feel who's really capitalized on that right now, and I want to see more of him there. I would easily switch him for Alberto Del Rio right now, easily. I don't see what they see in Del Rio that they don't see in Rhodes. In terms of in-ring ability, in terms of talking, I think they're pretty even.
Well, international flavor, maybe.
International, that's true. Appealing to there's a very, very big Spanish audience for WWE, and Del Rio certainly is that reflects that culture very, very clearly. So that might be it. Maybe Cody Rhodes should learn how to speak Spanish.
Yeah,
maybe that's why he's not on TV. He's got the Rosetta Stone.
They do seem to overlook a lot when it comes to their international stars. More so than their homegrown stars, I guess.
They do at times, and other times they seem to put so. I mean, Great Khali is a guy who we consistently see on television because he's a big star in India as an actor, and because they're trying to draw an Indian viewership, I guess, through Great Khali being exposed. And Great Khali, I think, is a perfect example of the worst possible way to go about trying to add international flavor. They just basically take... I'm not going to say he's the worst wrestler on the whole planet, but he's definitely the worst wrestler to ever hold the World Heavyweight Championship, aside from David Arquette. I had to throw that one in there. He's. I mean, let's be honest. Great Khali is terrible, right?
Yeah.
He's bad. He should not be in the biggest company in the world wrestling matches on a consistent basis at all, I don't think.
Luckily, though, he isn't.
Well, not
wrestling
right now.
on a consistent basis.
Not right now, because he's got a tumor removed from his head.
Yeah.
But another Indian guy they're high on is Jinder Mahal. I read this. Apparently they're impressed with his work on NXT. He just got finished. He was in the finals of the tournament against Seth Rollins for the title over at NXT. And he's been working with Ryback. I don't know if you remember from last SmackDown, but he walked out of a match with Ryback and got himself counted out. And I guess they feel like he can be a top heel, is what I read. Nothing more, nothing less than that, but they feel like he can be a top heel. And it might be just because, you know, he speaks Hindi and he can, you know, reflect again that part of the world and draw an audience from that part of the world. But if you look at Jinder Mahal, he's a big guy. You know, he's 6 foot something or other, like 4 or 5. He's a tall guy. He's in good shape. He's got a gimmick that is not particularly original right now. You know, it's basically Muhammad Hassan, except Indian, if we're going to be honest, right? Except he doesn't interrupt people as much.
Or Ludwig Borga, except Indian.
Except Indian, yeah. Well, it's well-worn territory having a foreign guy show up and say, you should hate me because I'm not from this country also.
Yes.
You know, it's very well-worn territory, and it plays on, you know, one of the worst aspects of the United States, which is, you know, hyper-nationalism, I think. And I don't necessarily think... And it's just not creative. That's the biggest thing. So I don't know what they got to do with Jinder Mahal. There's a few guys who need tweaking. I think Heath Slater needs tweaking too before they can really push him to the next level. I think he needs a new finishing move. I'm a big believer that appropriate finishing moves and appropriate entrance music and all these kind of extra things are really, really, really important to creating the right character for somebody. I think that what would Stone Cold be without the stunner? What would Randy Orton be without the RKO? Nothing. You know what I mean? John Cena got his finishing move because of his feud with Brock Lesnar and became iconic because of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was so iconic they'd changed the name. It
was the FU.
Right? Do you know what Heath Slater's finishing move is right now?
No.
That's a problem. I'll tell you what it is. It's a jumping neck breaker. Do you know how many guys use neck breakers right now?
How many?
Everybody uses neck breakers. It's easily the second most used move after clotheslines, I'd say, not counting punches and kicks.
Yeah.
Everybody uses neck breakers. The zigzag's a neck breaker, right? Punk uses a neck breaker. Ziggler uses a neck breaker in addition to the zigzag, right? The spinning one. Tons of examples. Christian, Miz, both use neck breakers, variations.
Shelton Benjamin, I believe.
Shelton Benjamin, well, he throw him on the back of the knee. But he's not in WWE anymore. He's over in Ring of Honor again. But the point is, it's overused, right?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be. They can use backbreakers. You know, every time CM Punk lifts up a guy for one of those backbreakers, I'm happy to see it, right? Every time Daniel Bryan or Jericho pulls up and hits the Tiger backbreaker from back in the day, I'm like, oh, yes, you know, a wrestling move. Something that I haven't seen every single day over and over, you know? I mean, we barely see vertical suplexes anymore. The vertical suplex was the crutch of wrestling for the longest time. I mean, that is the wrestling move that you remember from as a kid, right? Whoa, the big suplex, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore. I don't get it.
And the Ultimate Warrior with a big suplex.
That's right. Or the Gorilla Press Slam, dropping Bobby Heenan on his face. You know, but where are these? Why all neck breakers? You know, the guys can do them. I know the guys can do these moves. The talent's amazing. They're limiting them too much, and they're not allowing. I mean, are they going up to these guys and saying, "What moves you got?" And they're like, "Well, I got 6 neck breakers." I'm like, good, go for it. You know, or are they saying, "Why don't you throw a neck breaker in there?" I don't know. Can
you do all 6 neck breakers in 30 seconds?
I hope so.
I'll give it a try.
That would be cool. That would be a good finishing move. You hit 6 different neck breakers within the span of 30 seconds.
Oh my God! Look at that guy going.
You figure out a good way to chain them all together. I mean, combination finishers. That's something we haven't seen a lot of, and I think is definitely ground to explore. But right now, Heath Slater needs something. I don't know what. They seem to be running out of finishers, right? They seem to have like a list. They basically pull up one of the WWE video games, go through the custom finisher list, and say, "Which one do you want, kid?" Oh,
I'll take the stump puller.
Yeah, I'll take the double knee gutbuster. Okay, Darren Young, there, it's yours. Right? What do you want, Titus? Ooh, lifting a pile or Red Sky, whatever Crimson's using in TNA. Okay, it's yours. Right? That's what it seems to be. I mean, it seems to be they're reusing the same moves. When was the last time you saw an original finishing move? Like one that you'd never seen before?
It's been a while.
I remember the first time I saw Matt Morgan hit the Elevator. I was like, whoa, that move is nuts. The problem with a move like that, though, is you can't hit it on everybody.
Yeah.
You can hit it on guys who are smaller than you.
Yeah.
That's it. And guys with tremendously good balance who can hold themselves up there. Yeah. But that's it, you know?
Brings up another point, too, actually. Yeah. I heard someone on Facebook was commenting on whether or not it's appropriate for CM Punk to be using the go to sleep on opponents that are larger than him.
Because he hits it poorly, or just because it doesn't make sense?
Well, the thing is, the comment was that the last time he did it, when he dropped the opponent was on their feet, and then he lifted his knee up and hit him in the face. Why not just hit him in the face with his knee?
His knee. That was Kane, I think, probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, you look at the GTS and you say, they're using the opponent's weight. I think that's what Punk himself has said in defense of it. He's using the opponent's weight against them, right?
Yeah.
If Kane weighs 320 pounds... and Punk can lift him up in the air enough to get him off of his shoulders and drops him on his knee, I would think a heavier guy would be hurt more by that.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I thought he was going to say because it was Kenta's move, not because he stole it, right? And which Punk admits he stole the move, right?
Psychologically it works, but...
It's and it's also just it's a tough move to hit cleanly. It's a tough move to sell cleanly, right? Like, how do you sell the GTS? You kind of pop up and then sort of fall back. You know what I mean? Like knocked out. I don't know. But what are you going to do? I mean, the over-the-shoulder moves don't even get... So many Fireman's Carry setups for all these finishers now, right? Wade Barrett, the Wasteland. What is the Wasteland? Oh, it's a slam. Although he does put a nice little snap into it. He found a way to make it look like it hurts more than it does.
Which is always good.
It is always good, yeah. Oh, yeah, finishing moves. I think the most important thing for a finishing move is how painful it looks, and then the second most important thing is how easy it is to set up from various different angles. The out of nowhere, as JR would say, finishing moves, I think, are the most successful historically. I think we can all agree that.
Like a diamond cutter.
Like a diamond cutter, exactly. And how many ways could Diamond Dallas Page hit that move? That was his gimmick. Aside from, I'm super positive, I'm DDP. His gimmick was that the diamond cutter is coming, and it's coming. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how he's going to hit it. He's going to put you up on the shoulder, spin you into it. If he's going to fireman's carry you into it, or if he's just going to hit it straight up, we don't know. But and the RKO is a lot like that too.
Yeah,
it's sort of coming out of nowhere.
More or less the same move.
Well, it is the same. It's a cutter. Although I guess he jumps into the RKO is a jumping cutter, whereas the diamond cutter is just a straight up cutter.
Yeah,
depending on the version you get.
Okay, well, we got 3 or 4 minutes until the news at the top of the hour. What would you consider to be the best finisher?
Right now, or in general, like historically?
Whatever.
Well, I think of all time, I think it's hard to overlook the Stunner. I think not just because you look at Stone Cold as a draw and as a talent over, during his brief yet phenomenally successful run. I mean, if you look at Stone Cold, he was really on top of the world from like 97-ish to 2002-ish, right? End of 2002. So we're talking 5 or 6 years. I mean, Cena's already well surpassed that. But I think, you can't overlook the Stunner. It's just an amazing move. It was a cool looking move. It was iconic. One of the few finishing moves that I think if you say Stone Cold Stunner, everybody's going to know what you're talking about. I think of all time, definitely that would be Damien Sandow uses a neck breaker too, just popped into my head. But yeah, I think that would be that would be one I'd pick. And as of right now, if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick. And this is gonna sound like me just being biased, but I really like the way that Ziggler's been hitting the zigzag lately. I like that he's sort of jumping into it and kind of grabbing his hand and sort of pulling the guy's head down like that as I knock my head.
You're trying to break this radio station.
I'm trying, but it's not working.
I'm going to turn this radio show right around.
There's so many loud pieces of equipment around here that you just like move your foot wrong and all of a sudden you got static or you got
ruined.
Noise. Yeah. But I like the way he's been hitting it lately. But that's just me also probably showing a bit of favoritism. What about you? What's your favorite? What do you like?
Well, for right now, you mentioned before the Seth Rollins's.
The Blackout.
Yeah.
The jumping curb stomp.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one right now. But of all time, I'd.
It's a good choice too. I would definitely. It's definitely a great, and it's gonna be a move that you can see. You can see the T-shirts getting sold already when he hits that move in front of the kids. They're gonna love it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the way he executed it or the way his opponents sold it, but JBL's clothesline from hell, just whammo!
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of JBL. I love JBL.
Yeah.
The one he hit Slater with at the 1000th Raw was awesome. Knocked him right and hits in Slater. That was the perfect time to oversell. Because there's a time and a place to oversell,
Yeah.
I mean, Rock oversold at WrestleMania 15. Right? He bounced on his head after that on the last Stunner when Stone Cold beat him for the title. And it was fine. People liked it because it was a big moment. Slater going vertical on his head off the clothesline from hell was an appropriate time because when you get all the legends in the ring, it's okay to have a bit of fun. It's okay to make them look like they're monsters. Here just hitting you with the bionic elbow and you go flying through the ring or whatever it is. But that was awesome. The clothesline from hell. Yeah, every time he would hit that thing, just knocking people's heads off for that whole year as champion. I was a fan of that run.
Yeah. And apparently, according to Joey Styles' Twitter account, he and JBL share a page in the WWE Encyclopedia again.
Oh, really?
I can only assume for
Jay
the whole punching him out scenario.
Oh, you mean their name share page? They're on the same page.
I never actually checked out.
JBL and Joey Styles, I almost said Joey Ryan, would be if it was alphabetical. Because there's not too many J's, is there?
Yeah, probably not.
Jenna Maraska, but she's...
let me check what I actually posted it from my Twitter onto my Facebook, so let's see if I have the link here. I assumed it was for the fact that, JBL used to bully him so much and then he eventually turned around and just laid him out.
Well, JBL was a bully to a lot of people from what I hear. Blue Meanie.
Yeah. Oh, I remember... What was that, from the second one-night stand?
I think it was the second one where
he seeked him out and it's like, whammo!
Yeah. Just
knocked him out. Okay, well, we got this loading. Yeah, actually, that looks like it is just alphabetically.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing it sideways for some reason.